You gotta unmute, mama.
Okay, that's one of those duh moments. I don't know if you've ever had a duh moment. Actually, we've all had those duh moments, but when you're on a national Zoom, you do it publicly. So welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, I realized last week, Aunt, that every time I start this Zoom, I always say, I'm so stinking excited. And that's because I am so stinking excited. You know, there are, well, it's kind of like this. There are people that are on the orchestra and their violins. I'm a horn. Anthony's a horn. Well, he's a harp. He's a harp. And then there are people on the gridiron. And by the way, I know what a gridiron is because I went to school on a football scholarship, honest. And it was in Texas, Coach Jason. It was in Texas, but yeah, you should see me on the leg press. Anyway, we're excited because there are some of you on this call tonight. I know you are gym owners, you are trainers. And one of the questions I always get is, why do I want to do this business? I'm not here to push pills. I'm here to train up men and women to be champions. Well, I think somebody might have an answer for you. What do you think, Anthony? Okay, so go ahead.
I totally agree.
Totally agree. And you know that Anthony is an NCAA track star, right? This young man knows what it is to be a champion. He knows what it is to work. He knows what it is to persevere. Because if you're going to be good at anything, you have to work at it. And you have to practice, 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 practice until you get sick of it. And then you have to practice, practice, practice until you get it right. Coach Brent always says, Eva, what's your footwork? Look at your footwork, Eva. So Coach Jason Johns. Coach John. Now you, for all of you who know, if you don't know, my story is I had a traumatic brain injury. So sometimes I get things backwards, but I always seem to twirl them around to the right way. So Coach Jason, I am so excited to have you on here.
Well, thank you very much. I'm excited for the opportunity.
Now you are an inspirational speaker. You have run, get this folks, in less than 1 year in our particular business, he and his wife, the beautiful Miss Whitney, went to, and I'm going to share my screen here so you can see. No, let's see here. I messed it up again, Aunt. I'm going to show my screen. Honest, I am. Screen share. Here we go. There we go. This is Coach Jason and Whitney Johns. Beautiful family, very well established and successful. So Coach, what do you say to other athletes, coaches, trainers who say, why do I need another business? Why would I want to do this?
It's a great question. First, I want to say thank you for everybody that's on here tonight. It really, it's an honor to be a part of this Zoom. Very appreciative to Evan and Anthony for the invitation, and just want to, commend each and every person that's on here tonight for, just investing your time in developing yourself and growing yourself. I think why would I want to do this? I think that's a great question, and I think it's unique to each person. And I think it may change at different times. Some days for me, why do I want to do this? Just because it's a challenge. And I don't ever want to be complacent. And
Are you competitive?
When we started this, my wife was a teacher. She was a counselor. And we were at a point in our marriage where, she had 2 part-time jobs. She was 2 part-time counseling jobs when I was going away, and just interview fell through. And so it was either relocate and move or stay where we were and try to figure it out. Well, she figured it out, and she really showed me a different way to live. She started an online clothing store, started it from scratch. We didn't know anything about any of it. She learned it, we worked it, she did it. She started selling lipstick out of the boutique, and then she built a team selling lipstick out of the boutique, and that's what introduced me to network marketing. And then a good friend of ours who I coached with at the time in 2017 introduced us to a health and wellness company. And I was at a point at 44 years of age, and he was giving me the stuff and giving us the stuff and didn't want to do it, wanted no part of it, but then he gave me one of the products and I really liked it. And I was like, okay, well then let's try it. And so I think, why does anybody want to do it? Well, you do it because you make the commitment to wanting to. I wanted to improve my health and wellness at 44 years of age. You get to a point where you realize you're not getting any younger, and you want to, continue to have a high level of health. You want to, maintain an optimal level of health and wellness. And teaching and coaching is challenging. And then at the same time, Whitney showed me that, there's another way to make a living besides, all that I knew growing up was if my family needed more money, my dad worked more hours in the oil field. And if we had a big game as a coaching staff, great, I worked more hours, but I didn't get paid any more money, and which is fine. That's just part of it. But what I saw from Whitney and what she taught me and opened my mind to is you can take those same talents and that same passion for helping and serving, because here's what I know about this. So why do I do this? Because every single home in your neighborhood and mine, whether they want to admit it or not, they're not gonna let you tell them. You've got to listen to them. But every single home, somebody in that home has a health and wellness need. Could be physical, mental, emotional, and somebody has a financial need. Period. End of story. That's it. And that's what I love about this opportunity is, in what I do, I've done it for 23 years. I work with a great group of guys. We're great at, we're good at what we do, and we get to do it at a high level. Well, what I love about this opportunity is we get to impact more people on a bigger scale, in a bigger way. And when you give somebody an opportunity to get their health and wellness back, well, then the benefits of that, it's like throwing that rock in a pond and here come the ripples. Well, then now there's the emotional, there's the mental, there's the confidence, there's and then when they continue to have that success over a period of time, or you help somebody develop a home-based business, and then that gets, that fills in that gap at the end of the month and gives them that financial peace of mind, whatever that is for them. So I think for me, when somebody says, well, why do we do this? Because it gives, selfishly, for me, it's an opportunity to help people in their life where they need it, and it means the most to them today.
Wow. It's a truth. It's an absolute truth. We got in this business because I had a health need, and any family that has a health need has a financial need, guaranteed. So, the other thing this is what inspires me. I follow you, I Facebook stalk you, and Whitney, you had no idea who I was when I first contacted you and said, oh, will you come on our little web show? It's like, we stalk you because you inspire people. And you are true to who you are and you are true to your beliefs. Can you speak a little bit to that? That's what I love about this business. It's about being who you are genuinely and authentically.
Absolutely. You know, I want to add one more thing on the business side of it. Having a home-based business, and this is the other thing I didn't understand, it just makes sense from a tax standpoint. You know, if I can do something that is going to allow my family to keep more of our own income and not have to pay it to the government and not, you know, I want to pay our share. But when you can, you know, the tax deductions that, you know, from travel and clothing and meals and the percentage of your home that you use to work your business, and then the products that we order, well, that's a business expense. I mean, that right there, I mean, that's another reason that I think it's, and I tell anybody, even if you don't want to do the business, at least get in the business and order the products for yourself and get them a discount so you can get the tax write-off. So I think that, I don't know, you know, I know this, people want to be a part of something that's intentional, it's authentic, and it's real. Secondly, people want to be a part of something where they're valued. And lastly, people want to be a part of something where they know that their hard work matters and it's appreciated. And, you know, I think everybody has a unique set of talents and a unique set of gifts. I was, you know, blessed at a young age with a great mother, a great father, a great set of grandparents, and great coaches and great mentors in the community that I grew up in that instilled, you know, confidence, you know, or I don't know, they allowed me to earn confidence by doing challenging things. They loved me, they held me accountable, and they provided an example for, you know, the kind of person that I wanted to be. And I think that's the, you know, the greatest gift that we have. And if you've watched, like, you know, like Eava said, like what I do and what Whitney does is different. And I think that's so important. You know, I can see Margaret, I can see Cheryl, I can see Mike, I see so many great, you know, Deborah, Melissa, Phil, Daryl. All of us are unique and all of us are different, and all of us have a unique set of talents and gifts. And the great thing about this opportunity is we have each and every day to utilize those and to impact others in a meaningful way. I'm not trying to out Whitney. Whitney's not trying to out Jason. She does what she does and she's great at it. I'm competing against me to be the best version of myself that I can be, but I love her and I support her and I encourage her. And that's just, you know, that's how we you know, in our marriage and the guys that I work with, that's just, I've just been very, very fortunate to be around great people that see life that way and live life that way.
You know, my husband and I have always, we are in ministry. We ministered together. We started this business together until he had some health challenges. And we still do this together. Can you speak to how that works? How do you work that out as a couple?
I stay in my lane. That's how I do it. I've been married 21 years, so I'm not the smartest guy, but I can learn from past experience. I tell everybody all the time, if you're familiar with the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s, she's Emmitt Smith and I'm Daryl Johnston. She's the all-pro. I'm just the guy that does all the stuff that she doesn't want to do, so she can go be great at it. But I think that I love the fact that we do get to do this together. I grow in ways that I need to from her example. I hope that she would say the same thing about me, but it also works well. You know, she's great at what she's great at. And I support that and what, you know, Whitney's, I'm more step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4. Whitney's like, hey, let's have an event next weekend. What do you think, honey? Why don't you get that plan for us? All right, cool. So that's kind of how we roll. But I think it's a great opportunity, you know, where you mesh, where she's has a talent and a gift that I lacked, and I'm going to support her in that, try to develop myself, and then vice versa, and how we work it and how we operate it. You know, when we were in our former company, I took off for a year, and so she probably did about 90% of the recruitment. So I fell into, you know, following up, doing training calls, people that would hit ranks, people that needed encouragement, people that needed help, business trainings, presentations, things like that. She was more the front of it, I was more the back of it. So I just think, and it seems to be that the families that I've observed that work it together, one's more kind of handles one aspect of it, one handles more the other aspect of it. So gravitate towards your natural gifts and don't look back.
You know, I'm taking a look at this, and just what you said there and what you said with her, you know, coming visionary and you putting it together, it's kind of like a football team. You know, you've got your star quarterback and your star running back. Yes, I love football, you know, but I am a gymnast at heart. And then the coach puts things together, puts the plays together, makes sure that he has all the other coaches, make sure that special teams are doing what they're supposed to. So basically, you're just living your life the way.
Absolutely. And you know, and that's the great thing about a staff. Every staff's different, and wherever what your strengths are, you lead from that. Where you can support, where you fill in. You know, absolutely, 100%.
So it's about empowering each other.
Absolutely.
And then empowering your team.
Absolutely.
So how do you empower your team?
You know, I think that I think one, it's how you live your life. I think one, you better do it. And people can tell when you're not and when you are. You know, at the end of the day, the only person that can get it done for me is me. The only person that can get it done for anybody on here is you. We all grow better with encouragement. So, you know, with our program, with our football program, we're going to develop 4 things. And so really it's the same thing here. We're going to develop the character of the individual. Number 2, we're going to develop their competitive spirit. We're going to teach them to be competitors. Number 3, we're going to develop superior strength and conditioning. And then number 4, we're going to develop the fundamentals of the game. And I think you can take those same 4 things and you can really apply it to anything in life. You know, the foundation of who we are and what we are is our character. And so I think so many people struggle because how do you define success? Is it my checkbook? Is it where I live? Is it, you know, so many people, we define success by things we don't really control. And we struggle because when you don't hit that mark, well, then you get discouraged. Or maybe you get close to that mark and you don't feel like it. And you say, well, you know, I'm better off than I was a day ago, or I may not be there yet, but I'm better off than my neighbor. And then what if you hit the mark? What are you going to do? Just quit? And so the number one thing that I would do for what I do, and I would recommend to anybody, you have to define for yourself, what is the win for the day? How do you win a day? And for me, it's 5 things. There's 5 things that you can do to grow yourself every single day. Number 1, win in your faith. And whatever that is, and however you do it, that's not the issue. The issue is plug into your source. The hottest commodity in our house is a cell phone charger for the phones. I'll guarantee you that we spend more time looking for cell phone chargers, because if the phone's not charged in, it doesn't work. And so we're no different. If I'm not plugged into my source, if you're not plugged into my source, whatever that is, you're already starting off behind the 8 ball. Plug into your source. Second thing is personal growth. Before you can feed yourself, you got to feed others. But what are you doing to feed yourself? What are you reading? What are you writing? What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are the conversations you have with yourself? The most conversations that we have with anybody today is with ourselves. And why, is the majority of our country walking around in fear and sad and nervous and depressed? Because the majority of it's negative. Because what we're listening to, the majority of it's negative. And there's some, I'll give you one tool that I love. It's an app. It's called the Think Up app. Put it on your phone. It's right here. Think Up app. ThinkUp. And what it is, it records your voice, whatever you want to put on it. So I have my affirmations of the visions that I want to do. That's it right there. Think about and what I want to achieve. And then there's about 15 verses that are meaningful and impactful for me. That's what I listen to every day on the way to work. I'm taking control of that conversation in here from the get-go. And it's amazing. Do that for a month and see the difference in your day. Turn off the radio, turn off the TV. The first thing you do every morning, listen to that. Third thing, what are you doing to grow in the relationships in your life that mean the most to you? How are you investing in them? Whoever that is. Number 4, what are you doing to grow yourself? How are you investing in yourself professionally? And then the last thing, what are you doing to develop yourself from a health and wellness standpoint? What are you doing from a physical fitness standpoint? Maybe it's wherever you're at in life, that's what it is. Pick 3 things you like and 1 thing you don't like. And those aren't step by step by step. Those are interconnected. Because with your faith, that's your foundation. With the fitness, that's the discipline. And so how do you empower somebody? You help them learn to discipline themselves. And so when it comes time to make those tough choices, they can make it. But when they do have success, they can stay committed to the process that allowed them to have success. They don't become complacent. And so if you say, well, I can't do it for anybody. I can help them. I can show them. I can give you a plan, and that's the plan that works for me. So I'm going to sit down every night before I go to bed. I'm going to define what's tomorrow like. How am I winning my faith? What am I doing to grow myself personally? How and who am I going to invest in from a relational standpoint? What am I doing to grow professionally? And then lastly, I have a plan for my health and wellness. What am I going to do from a workout standpoint? Now, I've got 5 wins. Now I'm taking a step to empowering myself to go out and be the best version of myself and be impactful to others.
So out of that group, you named 5 things that you do. It's not weekly, it's not monthly, it's daily. Mm-hmm. Every day.
And I don't give myself an option. I don't give myself a choice. We go out of town, I'm going to go work out. I may go, I'm going to find something. Yeah. And if I don't get it done at one point in the day, then I'm going to come back and I'll do it at the end of the day. And I think that's the other part. There is no option. There is no compromise. There is no choice. And then it's those, our head coach talks a lot about how do you build a successful program? How do you build a successful organization? How do you build a successful anything? It's slow, it's incremental, and it's daily. It's slow, it's incremental, but it's daily. And building a life is no different.
Wow. These are fantastic takeaways. 30 minutes is not enough time with you. I'm serious. I am like so serious. On your five dailies, it's taking they're all responsibility issues, self-responsibility. Number 1, plugging in. That's first of all, taking care of you and your faith. 2, personal growth, taking care of you and taking responsibility. 3, Invest in relationships, your responsibility to reach out. 4, invest professionally, your responsibility. 5, your health. They're all about self-responsibility before you can take care of anyone else.
Absolutely.
Anthony, did you have something?
Well, he dove in. I got a page and a half of notes already. I was taking more notes. Wow, Coach. Well, I know you are a coach, and so I can honestly see when you were just talking. I can honestly see how you also coach your athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seemed the same way. You just kind of transitioned it from just different wording pretty much a little bit. It may be a little bit different wording in the locker room, but there are other coaches out there. And, how would you how would you relate this business to coaching or being as a coach? Because there's other coaches out there, there's other trainers out there, and there's other people looking at this. Maybe they're watching a recording. Somebody sent them this wonderful recording because they was like, well, how would you relate this to that? Like, what would be something you would tell another coach? Like, why would he want to look at this?
I think number one, you have an opportunity to impact people in a positive way. And ultimately, as a teacher, as a coach, that's what we're passionate about. And it's what we want to do. The second thing, I touched on it earlier. You impact a special group of young people, being a football coach or a track coach or whatever. But here, there's two things that are different. We get to impact more people in more different ways. And if you're really passionate about helping other people and you really like a challenge, why wouldn't you want to do that? And being able to take but the second part of it is it's easier coaching kids. And that was the thing, because in football, you can see that this is the start, this is the process, and you can see the finished product so much. I tell people, here's the greatest challenge right here, and I think this is why I still love it so much. So many people that I've encountered over this last 4 years either didn't learn the lessons that we teach in athletics, or they learned them and they quit using them. And so that's, if I can help one person, either that maybe has never heard this or maybe heard it and fell by the wayside, or maybe stopped believing in themselves and help them get back on track, then that's worth it.
Awesome. And
Tell
one more
story
question
about that.
One more question, Coach.
Okay.
You have been part of this company for a little bit, almost a year now, for you and your wife, and you seeing some amazing things. Y'all been blessed already. Why would right now be the time for either a coach or teacher or a trainer or just anybody? Why would be the right time right now? Why would right now be the right time for somebody to say, hey, you know what? I need to go ahead and do this.
Yeah, I think there's three things. And like Anthony said, we've been a part of New Age Arts for almost a year. It doesn't seem like it. It's flown by. And one is the products. Products are tremendous. And whether it's somebody that is at a point where they really need change, great, we can do that. But, I was in decent health and wellness. The month of July, I ran, I think, a total of 6 miles. A buddy of mine called me in August and said, hey, we're going to go run a 100-mile race in February. And I said, you're crazy. And he said, come on, let's do it. He was the best man at my wedding, my best friend growing up. So I trained for that during football season. So, you think about breaking up whatever many hours we work in a week, and we started June 8th and we played all the way to New Year's Eve. I'm at school from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then you take 30 miles a week or 40 miles a week and you break it up over that schedule. The testimony for these products for me is I'm 47 years old at the time and was able to do that from a physical standpoint. My body, I was able to withstand that. stay injury free and ended up doing the 100K, ran 62 miles at 48 years of age. So, from a product standpoint, I think there's a lot of great product companies out there. I think ours are cut above. Second thing is the business model. This thing hands down is better than anything I've ever seen. Whether it's the weekly pay, whether it's the bonus check, or whether it's the stock that's available. You want more information about that, then there's people that can explain it a whole lot better than I can, but that's a no-brainer. But the best thing about any of this is the people. And, when we were introduced to the company, to Aaron and Dr. Ginger, and then, we met, we got to speak with some of the corporate people. That's what I love about it more than anything, is you can't spend enough time in life around great people. Period, end of story. That's it. And then secondly, if you want to do something you've never done, or if you want to go someplace you've never been, then get together with people that are doing it. But more importantly, get together with people that have character, and get together with people that have integrity, and get with people that have a passion to serve and care as much about your success as they do their bank account. And if that's the kind of group that you want to be around, then that's why you need to be here.
And that's a mic drop.
That hey, hey, if you just heard Jason tonight, Coach Jason, if you just heard Coach tonight and you're not ready to sign up, you might need to check your post. Because he just fired me up, and I'm ready to re-sign up. I got the paper, I need to put it on my computer. I'm ready to get back going again. Coach, that was absolutely amazing. You're an amazing individual. I got to spend time with you last weekend. It was absolutely amazing. Just your energy. If you ever in Dallas, Fort Worth, and you just want some positive energy to be around, I promise you, go hang out with Coach. Just hang out with him just for 30 minutes, and you're going to feel the energy come off his body. It's absolutely amazing. I feel great ever since, Coach. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you again. Maybe we'll go grab lunch or something.
Look forward to it anytime.
Well, did I not tell you that this was worth it? This is, Coach, we would like you to come back sometime.
Hey, and just extend the invitation, and like I said, give me a little bit of notice, because you never know with these girls running around. We may have a basketball game or a cheerleading tryout. There's never a dull moment around here. But no, anytime would love to come back. Thank you for the invitation.
I really appreciate it. This was nuggets. This was, there's pablum and then there's meat. This was meat. And so whoever invited you on this call invited you because they believe in you. And if they believe in you, we believe in you. And we are a team. We are a family. I never knew Coach before we started here. We live all over the world, but we're one family. And when we are in one accord, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. So we would like you to be a part of our family. And so get back to the person who invited you if you have any questions, and let's do this, and let's do it together. So thank you, Coach. We're going to unmute the lines. Tell Coach how much you appreciate him.
Thank you,
Thank
Coach.
you so much.
Thank you, Coach.